Hello, my name is Benji and welcome to Dice vs Cards. Today we review parks in 5 minutes or less. We're going to find out if you can combine do as you please track movement with some well-rounded set collection and drafting elements. But most importantly, we investigate whether a game about walking in the park can really knock your socks off. Parks is at its heart a set collection game, where over the course of 4 rounds you're controlling 2 hikers through a wilderness trail. On your journeys you'll be collecting resources by stopping on parts of the trail and ultimately spending said resources on visiting US national parks, usually at the end of each round. This is going to be the primary way to score points. What sets this somewhat apart is the track movement elements that see you being able to select any of the tiles along the route for one of your hikers to move to, so long as it's on a space that's closer to the finish of the trail. The slight stumbling block in all of this is that you can't stop in a space where there's a meeple already present, and yes, that includes your own. You have the means to break this rule once per round with your campfire token, but most of the time you'll need to be tactically placing your hikers just where you need them to be. All of this goes without mentioning the modular board that sees the park trail randomised and extended each round. The gear you can purchase to give you passive or activated bonuses on your travels, and the water canteens you can refill to give you access to a number of abilities like resource trading. And then there's some first come first serve end of round bonuses up for grabs, like snatching the first player token, and then a seasonal event that will be in effect each round. Oh, and for extra completeness, there's a solo mode that sees you rubbing shoulders with park rangers and trying to best your top score. So why might you like it? Well, we have here completely free as a bird movement. No dice rolling, drawing of cards or fixed movement allowance. Just go where you want so long as no one's there already. This represents a delightful layer of tactical risk and reward. Want that space with exactly what you need but it's right up the other end of the track? Well, it's up to you to decide how slowly you can afford to make your way there. There's no room for turtling your way to more resources either, because the quicker you get to the end of the trail, the more chance you'll have of getting end of round bonuses. And if you're the one with the last hiker on the trail, unfortunately the round ends immediately. Whilst it's true that at its core it's a fairly vanilla set collection game, it's everything that surrounds this mechanic that makes the game sing. Any of these elements on their own wouldn't do enough to turn it from an okay game to a superb game, but combining the purchasable gear cards with the oh so helpful water canteen cards, the seasonal effects and the end of round choices make for a well balanced and welcome combination of bells and whistles. Finally, this might go straight in the thank you Captain Obvious column, but the production and artwork is almost flawless here. Yes, it will long remain a subjective debate as to how much this impacts a game's quality, but for those of you that think it does, you'll be hard pressed to find a better packaged product than this. But why might you not like it? Well, first and foremost is the converse point to how simple the set collection is. There's no real variation on a theme here. It's just collect X and Y resources and cash them in for points. And for that reason, if this is where you're expecting there to be fireworks, you'll be sorely disappointed. Player scaling is also a downside. Now, most games scale with difficulty to varying degrees at different player counts, but this is so linear in its difficulty because the more people that play, the less space there is. Now, the extra challenge may appeal to you, but hard mode shouldn't be so overtly connected to player count. For similar games, you might want to try this if you liked Wingspan or Artifacts Inc. But when all's said and done, this stunning looking game has a pleasant gameplay experience wrapped around it. So what more do you want? However, that's it from me. I'll see you next time. After extensive research, it has become clear to me that it's very difficult to knock someone's socks off, period. Let alone in a real setting. Shame.